We move our attention to Washington, where all eyes are going to be on this building today. Look at this, the Supreme Court. At the top of the next hour, we're going to know whether today will be the day the 9 justices issue their opinion on the fate of marriage equality across the country, as well as potentially deliver other decisions that they've been considering. Now, it would, of course, come the day after 2 major wins for the Obama administration. The first being upholding the president's signature health care law. The other, the 5-4 decision, upholding a key part of the 1968 Fair Housing Act. And joining me now to get his reaction to this and more is Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Julian Castro. Secretary Castro, thanks so much. And first off, your reaction. Were you surprised with the decision to uphold the key disparate act part of the 68 Fair Housing Act?
It's good to be with you, Thomas. I think it's fair to say that that there were many folks who were at least pleasantly surprised. I'd include myself in that category because of what had been read about Justice Kennedy and how he's leaned on these types of issues in the past few years. However, having said that, yesterday was a great victory for equal opportunity in our country. One of the defining challenges for the United States in this 21st century will be, how do we remain the undisputed land of opportunity in the world, and how do we ensure that that opportunity is fair for everybody? The 1968 Fair Housing Act, which was the subject of this case, was passed just a week after the death of Martin Luther King Jr., and it remains a very important tool to ensuring that folks have fair housing opportunities when they go out into the marketplace. So yesterday's case, upholding disparate impact analysis as part of the Fair Housing Act, will help ensure that at HUD and the Department of Justice and out there in the private and the public sector, we can make sure that when somebody goes out to rent an apartment or to buy a house, that they're going to have a level playing field.
Well, it certainly is a tool that's going to be used by the Department of Justice, but for you, and specifically in your role as Secretary, how does it change any plans for housing and urban development?
Now, we've been using this tool for the last 45 years. However, this does give us a great level of certainty and ensures that we're going to be able to keep using it. And so we're just happy that the Supreme Court made a strong, positive kind of stance on disparate impact analysis. What it means also is that folks out there, consumers of every background, can rest assured that HUD is going to be doing its work to enforce the Fair Housing Act.
So, sir, while I have you here, and I know your stance on immigration reform, and I know what your brother has talked about in regard to immigration reform, we had GOP presidential hopeful Donald Trump making inflammatory remarks. That was in relation to Mexican immigrants during his 2016 announcement on June the 16th. Since then, Univision has now cut ties with airing Miss USA next month, which is partly owned by Trump. It's aired on NBC. And we had Trump responding exclusively to our own Jose Diaz-Balart on Telemundo yesterday. I just want you to take a listen and get your reaction after this. Take a listen.
I love the people of Mexico. I respect the people of Mexico, and I respect Mexico. But the fact is that if I were president, believe me, it wouldn't be the way it is right now. And I'll tell you this, I'd end up having a better relationship with Mexico than the United States has right now. We would cherish each other.
Okay, so how do you feel about the statements that Donald Trump has made? How do you feel about the cleanup work that Donald Trump is trying to do now?
Well, of course he's trying to clean it up now because he started to see the business impact that his hateful comments had. The comment that he made that the folks coming across from Mexico are rapists, that they're drug dealers. You know, my grandmother was 6 years old and an orphan when she and her younger sister, who was 4 years old, came over from Mexico in 1922. And there's so many people, immigrants to this country from Mexico or other places, who have come just seeking a better life, who work hard, who have helped build up the world's most powerful economy. And I think what Donald Trump just found out is that you don't get ahead by spreading hate. And it should scare the Republican Party, because this guy is one of the most well-known folks who's running for president on their side. And more than that, they understand the importance of the Hispanic vote, and that's going to be significant in many battleground states. And if this is the attitude that some of their leading candidates are going to take toward Mexicans and toward immigrants, then they can just kiss the presidency goodbye in 2016.
And Secretary, I just want to note in full disclosure to everybody, I'm currently set to return as the host of the Miss USA event, and NBC Universal issued a statement on Trump yesterday that reads, Donald Trump's opinions do not represent those of NBC, and we do not agree with his positions on a number of issues, including his recent comments on immigration. Real fast, though, are you going to be the vice president for Hillary Clinton?
I doubt that. I've said many times that I'm going to try and do a great job at HUD. I've found that the best way to have a good future, whatever that future is to pay attention to the present. And so I'm trying to do good work, and very glad to get this Supreme Court opinion yesterday, and we're going to ensure that there's a level playing field out there in the country for folks.
All right, I like the way you go full circle back to the current position that you're holding right now. So we'll look for a different answer coming up in the future. Secretary Julian Castro, sir, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.